with the new executive order extending the eviction moratorium on residential evictions until October 31st.
The governor announcing a 3-month extension on his executive order freezing evictions because of the COVID crisis. Without it, tens of thousands of Arizona families could have been kicked out of their homes starting next week. That's when that moratorium on evictions was set to expire. Well, now people struggling to pay rent will be protected through October 31st. And while that might be good news for tenants, it is really rough when it comes to landlords and property owners, Jared.
The freeze on evictions will likely cost them tens of thousands of dollars over the months. And as Jason Berry tells us, there's no guarantee they'll ever make that money back.
With so many people struggling to pay the rent during the current health crisis, it only made sense for the governor to protect tenants and make sure they won't be evicted through the end of October. But what about landlords who depend on rent money to pay their bills? They're the ones now in a tough spot. It's a growing problem across the state. Tenants unable to pay the rent because they've gotten sick or lost their job. But any fears of being kicked out of their homes have been put on hold with the governor's decision to extend his ban on evictions until October 31st.
That's where the problem is, because
Ajay Sharma is one of many property owners who understand why the governor did what he did, but says what many don't realize is the financial burden it will place on landlords who need to pay their mortgage, insurance, property tax, and other expenses.
think about it, if somebody is not paying, not able to pay $900 right now, so next month that person will owe $1,800, then $2,700. It will just keep piling, and so I really don't see a way those guys to coming up $4,000 or $5,000 down the road.
Sharma owns 2 apartment complexes in Mesa and says the number of renters who haven't paid or delayed rent payments has doubled the past few months, and it may get worse.
There are still bills to be paid on that property.
Rick Murray with the Arizona Small Business Association believes the temporary freeze on evictions is just a Band-Aid that will do nothing more than push the problem down the road.
We can't certainly kick people out on the street, certainly in the dead of summertime here in Arizona, but at the same time, we've got people who are owning properties out there that are being more than gracious in letting people stay in there. There needs to be some help for these property owners.
Roughly 500 new evictions were expected to be filed in Maricopa County by the end of July. Murray is hoping more government assistance programs will be put in place to offset the money landlords will be losing during the current health crisis.
When nobody's getting paid, that means landlords aren't getting paid, banks aren't getting paid, and at some point the dam's going to burst.
The governor did announce a new foreclosure prevention program to help homeowners who rely on income from tenants. But landlords I spoke to worry it won't be enough. In the East Valley, Jason Berry for Arizona's Family.